Welcome to The Nest Show, the podcast that brings you insights into the crypto market, trading and investment experiences, and what we're looking forward to as we navigate the space together. Before we get started with the show, I want to thank our friends and sponsors over at Prime XBT, where many of our listeners have already signed up to trade by visiting the birbnest.com/PrimeXBT. Now, we're excited to reward you with a very special offer brought to you by our friends at Prime. Visit the announcement channel on our Discord to learn how you can receive a one-time trading bonus equal to 50% of your deposit amount. Exciting times indeed. Prime XBT is the most powerful trading platform offering immediate access to over 30 assets. Users may trade cryptocurrencies, forex, commodities, stock indices, and much more, all from a single Bitcoin-settled account. Prime XBT gives experienced traders up to 100x leverage to multiply their capital, while also providing users with multiple order types, low trading fees, and ultra-high liquidity to equip them with a one-of-a-kind trading experience. Registration does not require any user information, so visit the link below and start trading on Prime XBT in minutes. You'll be hearing much more about Prime XBT here and why we're so excited about the products they already offer, including a one-of-a-kind BTC and Ethereum options trading platform called Turbo, and an upcoming co-vesting product that will give traders and investors alike an entirely unique opportunity to multiply their capital. We're excited to congratulate the Prime XBT team on a couple of project milestones, starting with the launch of direct crypto purchases with the use of credit and debit cards. To learn more about how to purchase crypto on the Prime XBT platform using debit or credit cards, visit Prime XBT today for a complete walkthrough. Also, we want to regard Prime for their progress integrating TradingView chart technology into their charting platform, and their continued progress with the co-vesting module that will allow traders to mirror the activity of other traders. To find out more about the extensive progress of the co-vesting build-out, visit the Prime XBT blog for the most up-to-date information. Now for the show. Today we're joined by Enrique and Alvin, co-founders of Aluna.social. Enrique and Alvin are both longtime crypto traders and have many years of manual and algorithmic trading experience between them. Over the course of this screen-shared episode, they detail the impressive product they're building in Aluna and highlight the pain points that gave rise to this unique social trading platform. We learn how Aluna gives birth to the kind of true transparency that Twitter fails to deliver, such as validating when and where a trader entered and exited a position, verifying whether a trader is just an empty shill or if they're actually holding an asset. Aluna also gives traders the opportunity to copy, and yes, even countercopy other traders on various exchanges. And that's not all. Aluna provides traders with a single platform from which to trade on a multitude of connected exchanges, and the list for compatible exchanges grows longer by the day. Speaking with Enrique and Alvin got me genuinely excited for what Aluna can do for the crypto trading space, and you'll see why in this episode of The Nest Show. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the ride. What The Nest Show is. This is a podcast brought to you by the Birb Nest community, an independent crypto and forex-centered trading community built to sharpen each other in capturing opportunities in the markets while protecting capital along the way. What this is not: trading advice. We are not financial advisors, and you should not regard any information here or in the Nest Club as financial advice. You should always consult a licensed financial advisor before making any financial decisions. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us in today's episode of The Nest Show. As I mentioned, we are here today with Enrique and Alvin from Aluna. Enrique, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm so excited to be here with you talking about this platform. As we were talking pre-show, very impressive stuff. And I couldn't be more excited to bring this to our listeners and viewers today. And for our listeners, normally we have very audio intensive presentations, but if you are able to view this on YouTube or any other visual medium, I highly recommend it because Enrique will be sharing his screen and you don't want to miss the visuals of their platform. Alvin, how are you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm good. Thank you, Benjamin.
Awesome. Yeah. So as we were mentioning pre-show, Enrique, you're in London, and Alvin, you're in Singapore, but both of you consider yourself, I guess, co-founders of the project. How did you guys meet, and what was the kind of the genesis of this project? Enrique, you want to take that?
Yes, I can take that. So Basically, a few years ago, I got really into crypto and started trading Bitcoin. And eventually, I got into writing my own algorithms to trade Bitcoin, and I started writing some tools for trading. Eventually, one of the tools that I created was a bot on Telegram that allowed you to see your balances and to trade directly from Telegram, so without having to go to the exchange interface. Eventually, Alvin was looking for somebody to work with him on an idea he had, and he got pointed to me by one friend in common. Shouts to Scott, a really nice guy. Basically, we started chatting, and we realized we had so many ideas in common, and we thought it would be a good idea to work together, and that was the start of Aluna.
That's awesome. So y'all first met basically to discuss a project that y'all could possibly work on together. Is that right?
Yes.
That's awesome. And based on the scope of the project, it's really, pretty amazing that y'all could meet from, very various, points around the globe and, work on such a sizable project together without any prior knowledge of each other. It's really, really amazing.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It was actually very unrealistic situation. I mean, nowadays everything is possible, right? So it was.
Yeah, right.
It was pretty nice, and we ended up working together for several months before we actually met in person, and it's been a massive pleasure since then.
Awesome. Alvin, can you back that up?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, initially
Good answer.
I was building an indicator, so I got someone to help me with that. And so Scott, when I wanted to automate that indicator, Scott pointed me to Hems, who already sort of built a side project for himself, like a trading terminal, and like you said, a Telegram bot. And yeah, we basically combined his idea and a lot of social network stuff to come up with Aluna.
So for our listeners who's who are receiving their first introduction to Aluna right now, what would you describe Aluna's value proposition as in a nutshell, and what are you trying to do with Aluna?
Basically, Aluna values proposition is to provide traders first a place where you can see all your trading accounts from one place. So I think one of the first issues that we realized on the crypto world is that you would have coins in different exchanges, and you would be having to log in multiple places and do 2FA, and every exchange would have the mobile app, and this was a little bit counterproductive sometimes to manage your account with all those tabs open and have to be going to CoinMarketCap and TradingView and Twitter and so many other places. So that was one of the problems that I was trying to solve at first. And then another thing that came up, and that was mostly Alvin idea, was how can we make this more community based, and how can we make this more of a social network. Basically, we come up with this idea where you not only can manage your accounts, but you can also share some of the information you have, such as your portfolio distribution and your trades. And that's something that we realized pretty early that is missing on the crypto space. There is no way of proving your trading records. There is at least no nice way that we are aware of. Aluna allows people to share this information in a way that's third-party verified. So it's basically they can use their Luna profile as a public ledger, which is something that a lot of people are used from the crypto world.
Yeah, what you were showing me pre-show is really impressive and first to market as far as I'm familiar with, for this kind of work. So you're really excited to see, or really excited for our listeners and viewers to see some of the platform. And tell you what, Enrique, if you'd like to get started with your screen sharing aspect, I think we're ready to jump in there and see what's good.
Nice. So now if you're looking at my screen, you're basically seeing the homepage of Aluna. Our address is https aluna.social, right? So when you enter on our homepage, you see basically a global timeline which have a lot of insights of what our community is doing. So you can see trades that people are doing here, and you can see also comments that people are doing here. So I could say I'm hoping BTC will hit 10,000 soon, and I can come and post this, and you'll see in just about a second it will show up here. So for instance, now I'm logged in as positive thinking, and you can see I said something about BTC. So if I click on BTC here, you see we are taken to the market page of BTC, and you can see what everybody's saying about BTC, previous comments from people. You can also see the charts. And one thing that's really nice is here you can also see all the markets that Aluna currently supports. So let's say I would like to go to BTC USD on Bitfinex, and I would like to put an order here. Let's say I want to put an order to buy at 8,900. So I can I'll go to my margin account, and I'll go to my order form, type 8,900, and say I want to put a long order to buy $10 worth of BTC. So I press place long order, and you see in just about a second the order is gonna show up here. Now I have an order on BTC USD. So here you can see a little bit already of what I said previously. We have some aspects of a social network, which is what people are saying here, but at the same time, you have the ability to trade straight away. And here on the top, you can see if I click balances, you can see I have a balance on BTMax, and you can see I have a balance on Bitfinex as well. And you can see I'm holding mostly USD. I can go to my positions, and you can see my previous positions. You can see the current positions I hold open, and you can see my orders as well. So for instance, recently I added this 8,900 order. I could come here and change this order and say I want the order now to be 8,800. And I press Save Changes. And now my order is updated on the chart. So if I would go to Bitfinex right now, that's exactly what the exchange would be showing to me. And the beauty of it is I didn't have to log in on Bitfinex to the 2FA and all of that, because I have previously connected my Bitfinex account to Aluna.
I love that aspect of it, because I mean, trading between Bybit and BitMEX and Bitfinex, and the aesthetic experience is, at times a little jarring, so much so that even though I, appreciate in one exposure to, various assets or instruments that are available on one exchange that aren't available on a number or on another, I will many times limit my live trading activity to one exchange in order to, accent continuity of the user experience or, the interface, because a lot of the trading that I do is kind of quick scalps. So, when I'm sitting down at the terminal, I don't want to be hopping back and forth between Bybit and BitMEX and FTX, et cetera. It's really nice to think about being able to do that from one consistent platform. And following up on that with, insofar as the order types, will users be able to execute the full suite of order types, stop losses, et cetera?
Yes.
For each exchange?
Yes. Currently, on the current version, we have only limit orders, but we are already adding all the other types. It's actually something we are working right now on adding stop orders, take profit orders, and market orders. I think, as you said, there is a main issue with all the exchanges, which is how complicated everything is, right? Sometimes you just want to put an order and you have to go through so many different clicks. So one thing that we focus on Aluna is to make it really simple and really nice first. We're trying to take everything that's unnecessary from the screen and keep focused on the basics. So we always build things very simple first, and then we start improving it and trying to keep the same simplicity but adding more and more options, right? So I think now we came to a design that we are happy with, that will allow you to adjust your leverage on BitMEX, adjust your leverage on Binance Futures, adjust your leverage on Bybit, and also add stop orders, as you said. So this update is coming in the next couple weeks. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and let me show you something, some more features. For instance, now that I'm on this market and I put this orders here, I could, let's say, I could come and cancel this order. I could just simply click on the chart and say I'm going to cancel this order. And here on the right side, you can see if I click holders, it will show everybody from the platform who's holding BTC and which exchange they are holding, which is also very nice. So if you're trading BTC, you instantly can get in touch with other people that you think might be interesting, or you could check the profiles, which is something I'm gonna get next.
Enrique, I'm curious. Just while we're looking at the trader range there, is there a way to favorite and group specific traders? Like you're like, man, I really like to see what Sock and those top 3 guys are doing with their Bitcoin trading. So you can like preset those and hide the others.
Yeah. So when you go to the home page, you have a global timeline, but if you click on the star, you can see the activity only of the people I'm following. So for instance, I'm following 1 man at a time. Awesome. Click here, I only see trades by him and comments by him. So that's gonna be a timeline only of the people you like. And currently we have standard settings, which is to see everyone, because when you arrive at the website as a new user, you're not following anyone, right? So we show everyone, but if you click following only, then you're gonna only see the people you follow. That's actually a very important feature that sometimes can be overlooked because it's not everybody gonna click on this star on the first day. So it's something nice to talk about. So coming back to the market page, for instance, I'm on BTC. If I go to traders, I can see everybody who have margin trades on BTC. And you can see here, most people are trading on BTMEX and Bitfinex. And so if I click on the profile, we go to the public profile, which is very interesting. We can see what is his Twitter address. You can see what's his portfolio distribution. So we can see, for instance, 1 man at a time have 60% Bitcoin, and he have Bitcoin on all those 4 exchanges. And you can go to Ethereum and see he have Ethereum and some other exchanges. So this is pretty good as well, because a lot of people have portfolio distribution, let's say on Bitfinex, but they don't have on Poloniex, or they don't have on some Binance, etc. So here you can see all of them together, which is a really nice feature, I believe. And here you can see only the insights from 1 man at a time. And here on the right side, you can see his trade history. So when I click on trade history, you can see he's currently short on XBT USD on BTMEX, making a good profit. And he's also short on BTC USD on Bitfinex. And if we click on his trade, you'll be able to see exactly when he got into this short, which is pretty nice. And you see he shorted here, pretty good short. And when you go down, that's a very similar timeline, but this timeline is exclusive for this trade. So you can see he opened a short position, he increased the position size a couple times, and you can see what's his open price, what's his base price, and I can come here and I can say, wow, that's super nice trade.
Yeah.
And I can do post, and here you get a notification saying that somebody commented on his position, and you can see what time I did, what time, and what price I commented. So I commented when it was 9,164. So let's say if this goes bad one day and people come here, it will still make sense. So it's still like, oh wow, he said it was a great trade when it was still profitable.
You know, it's so funny because that's such a simple snippet of information, but it's so telling, and it cuts out so much extra legwork, because especially like so often on Twitter, you know, you'll be looking at a trader, like trying to figure out whether or not they're worth the hype, and have Twitter open in one browser tab, and then have the timestamp chart available in another, and you're cross-referencing it like you're doing forensic analysis. And it's really nice just to have that right in front of you. The value and the identity of the comment itself is inextricable from the activity of the chart. So it makes total sense that the two should be available within the same field of vision.
Yes, I think it's nice that you said about Twitter, because in a way, we believe that Aluna is very similar to what Twitter could be for. I mean, it is very similar to what Twitter is, but for a crypto trader, it's what Twitter should be. Because let's say I will get 1 minute at a time profile, and I will go to Twitter. On Twitter, he could be saying anything. He could be saying, I'm going long, I'm going short. He could say whatever he wants, and you would never be able to tell if it's true. He could post a screenshot here and say, I'm doing $500 million profit or on this position, and he doesn't even have the position open. So that's something that, as you said, it cuts a lot of the crap, because on Aluna, if you go to his profile, there is no way of lying. Those are the positions he opened. That's when he closed. And he doesn't even have to say, because when he opened the position, automatically a tweet will come here. 1 minute at a time closed his position. 1 minute at a time closed, open, and BTC. So one thing that when I started trading, I used to participate in some trading groups, and basically people will be saying like, I'm opening a long right now, I'm opening a short right now, I'm increasing my position, I'm doing this. And as I said, you're going through so much unnecessary information, and you're trying to keep track of who you follow, what they are doing, how things are working. And Aluna basically, it's all those problems solved in one platform, which you're trying to make as beautiful and as user-friendly as possible. And also keep it focused to crypto, because if you're using Twitter to check crypto, unavoidably you're going to go through so many other tweets that are not good. I mean, that are not interesting for you, right? Because as we were saying before we start this session, Twitter is almost like a global troll box, right? So people are just saying anything about anything, and Aluna, it's only focused on trading crypto and data, right? So one thing that I believe is that the crypto community, it is based around trusting the data. So and it's also based on open source and you being able to check for yourself. And when you go to the trading community on crypto, there is a massive gap, because people can say they are trading, but there is no blockchain to verify that they actually put the trades. There is no blockchain to verify if they deleted the comments that were not good. They could do a call every day and then go through the bad calls and just delete from their Twitter, and then they're going to look like the best trader in the planet.
But who would do that? That would be dishonest.
Yeah, that's
no one would have, not on my Twitter. Not on my Twitter, Enrique. Yeah. And now this gets me into a point that I know we wanted to cover, and that's the airdrop for the Aluna token. What is the functionality of the token on the platform?
So that's a very good question. We have our website, token.aluna.social, where you can see a lot of the information about the token and what we are building with the token. You can know more about our team and etc. And the reason why we created the token is because we believe that with this information that we have on the community, there are more information that can still be generated out of this. So let's say the community could have an input, and the community could say, I think Bitcoin is going to go up next week. I think Bitcoin is going to go down next week. Or I think that this profile is a very nice profile. I think this trade is a very good trade. So the idea of the token is to start gamifying the platform, so people can not only trade, but they can also give their opinion and somehow play games in between themselves without necessarily having to open a position, right? So let me give an example. I'm at the moment I'm copying Alvin, right? So every time 1 minute at a time opens a trade, I'm gonna open a trade myself. So let's say I go here and I see this Bitcoin USD chart, Bitcoin USD trade. At the moment, I'm not copying him. I don't have this position, so I cannot do anything about this trade. But one of the things that we working on is that I will be able to come here and say, I bet 10 Aluna tokens that this trade is gonna go bad. And somebody can come here and say, oh, I actually think this trade is gonna go good. So people would be able to start waging against their opinions on this trade or their opinions on this trader, and start basically playing those games. So that's a next phase of Aluna, is when we'll be able to start adding those we call prediction games, and basically you're going to be able to play prediction games with the community itself.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Another thing that we're going to use the tokens is, if you have tokens, you will be able to pay for pro subscriptions on Aluna with a discount. Currently, Aluna is totally free. We are still in a 100% open phase where everybody can test every feature of the website. But sure, at some point, this platform is going to become some of the features of the platform will be paid, right? And we will use a subscription model where you pay something between $10 and $20 a month to have access to all the most exclusive features, right? So one of the features that we have at the moment is, for instance, I can go to 1 minute at a time and I say I want to copy him, and for every trade he does on Bitfinex, I would like to open the same trade with $20. So I do start copying, and now every time he puts a trade, Aluna will automatically open a trade for me on the same market, which is pretty amazing. But there is one feature that is even more amazing than copy trading, and it's called counter copy trading. And
I know, I saw that earlier. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yes. That started like a joke, but it became a pretty serious joke pretty quick. And there were so many times that you're looking at other people's trades and you're like, man, this guy really doesn't know what he do. And if I could do the opposite, I would be able to do some cash. So basically, so we actually made this feature. So you can go to somebody's profile and say, I want to counter copy this person, and I want to counter copy this person with $20. Let's say now I'm going to do this. So if 1 minute at a time goes long, Aluna going to open a short for me. And when he closes his long, Aluna going to close my shorts. So that's also part of what we're trying to do. We're trying to gamify the data and gamify the community. So all the data is going to be there available. Like, I will give you an example. on Facebook or Twitter, you can only like a tweet, but you can, or a comment or a post, but you cannot unlike that comment. So what is the point? I can see 100 people like it, but what if 1 million people don't like?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that say something about this comment? And this kind of information is not available on Twitter. This kind of information is not available on Facebook. But on Aluna, with counter copy trading, for instance, you're going to be able to give a signal that you actually think this is not a good trader. And we think that's part of what trading community should be. It should allow people to plain show their signals and plain show what they are thinking in a way that's verifiable, right? And that's what we are working on.
Well, it's so funny because in the United States, we have so much enthusiasm for freedom of speech. But what you mentioned there with Facebook, not allowing for a thumbs down button, that's stifling free speech. The countercopy position, is indeed like a version of free speech that is pretty amazing that it's not available in the United States, considering how much we harp on freedom of speech is a part of our identity. I'm curious, with the countercopy trading feature, will there be an ability to countercopy with the distinction of only countercopy so-and-so's long positions, or only countercopy their short positions, or only countercopy their trades on Bitcoin, or only where you pick up on someone's bias?
Yes, absolutely. This is something that we have been thinking from the very start. And as I mentioned earlier, we always try to come from simplifying point, a simple point, where you have things as simple as possible, and then we start adding things bit by bit, right? So if you would start the platform with copy this guy, only Bitcoin, only long positions, copy this guy, only Ethereum, with double the money I'm copying on Bitcoin, and copy this other guy, but then things would be so complicated to start with. And that's something that we try to avoid at the beginning, because developing a product, sometimes you have to see what sticks first, and you have to give people a taste. And if it's too complicated to taste, people are not gonna even start, I believe. So I think at the moment you can only copy one person with one set amount of cash for all the trades, and you can only counter copy one person with a certain amount for all markets. And so far, this is not a problem, because sometimes, as I say, people are biased against Bitcoin. They probably just trade Bitcoin. So maybe you don't actually need to separate this, but that's something that you're gonna learn with time, right? I think by watching the community, we're gonna learn more and more about what would be great to have and what's not great. I wanted to show you this guy called OMBC, and he's a if you look him, he's counter copying this guy, and if you look on his trades, he is mostly profiting. And that's such a good example of how counter copy trading is great. We already have
That's so funny.
We already have one guy on the platform who is making money out of counter copy trading other guy on the platform. That put such a big smile on my face.
That is too funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, what you could do is go to the leaderboard, and instead of copying the top three, you could counter copy the bottom three.
Exactly.
And see who outperforms.
Oh, yeah. Great you spoke about the leaderboards, because we have a lot to talk about this. Let me just show you something. So, for instance, if you look at this, let's get up one trade that he makes some good cash. Well, this one. Let's say this one. So when you go to this trade, I'll change to 1 hour because it was a very short trade. So when you go to this trade on EUSD, you know that he entered the trade here and he closed the trade here, and you can see this was the counter copy position of this other guy. So when I click here, you can see this guy actually you went short and closed here. But if you come back to OMBC,
Wow.
he actually did the opposite. And Aluna just perfectly did the counter trade for him. And that's like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that's so cool. So we are really happy with this feature, and we are really happy that we already have people on the platform making money with this feature. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Coming back to, you said what's the token for, and now it's nice that you talked about the leaderboard as well. We have a leaderboard, and the idea is we're gonna also have monthly tournaments and yearly tournaments where we're gonna give tokens to the best traders of the month, and they're gonna give tokens to the best traders of the year. And we're also thinking about doing what you said, to give tokens to the worst traders as well. So here you go. this is your award for giving
Man.
to give the community the opportunity to go against you. So
Wow.
so that's yeah, I think that illustrates very much where we are coming from. You know, we are not coming here with this banker point of view, you know, this legacy point of view, where everything looks like a glorified Excel spreadsheet. You know, we are trying to make a platform that is user friendly, that works on mobile, that works on iPads, tablets in general, and that everyone will look and you'll not be afraid. You know, like so many times you go to an exchange and the UI is just so scary, right? You get so much more than you need to start with. Of course, advanced traders like this, but let's be honest, most people, they just want to do some basic things every day. If they want to do something super complicated, that's a very personal thing, and it's not necessarily needs to be built in on your day-to-day too, right? So so that is that's one of the ways we think is how to make this more accessible for everyone, right? And this touches another aspect of the platform, which is the platform is public, right? So even if you're not registered, so just to make a case here, I'm gonna go to an incognito tab on my browser and I'm gonna open Aluna. You see that I have access to the insights. I can click the profiles, I can see the trades, I can see the portfolio distribution, and only if you click copy that you're going to be asked to join Aluna. Only if you try to say hello, you'll be asked to register on the website. So Aluna is basically a community asset. It's public. Everybody can go there and see all the trades that other people are doing. Everybody can see the profiles. So let's say if you have a YouTube channel as a trader, if you have a Twitter as a trader, you should definitely create an account on Aluna and also have your Aluna profile linked there so people can actually see your trades. I can't reinforce enough how this is missing on the trading community in crypto, because blockchain shows all the transactions, everybody can see the transactions in crypto, but when it comes to trading, nobody can prove. And Aluna is this. Aluna is the blockchain.info or whatever other platform, or Etherscan, or whatever other platform you use to check transactions, but for the trading community.
I love it. Coming back to the airdrop, how do our listeners and viewers participate in that?
So to participate on the airdrop, you have to register on the website. You can go then to your settings page. You're going to have to connect a Web3 wallet. Currently, we support MetaMask, so you can receive your coins. And then to participate on the airdrop, you should at least copy somebody on the platform or participate on the leaderboard, which you automatically do when you trade on margin. So if you trade on B2Max, if you trade on Bitfinex margin or Poloniex or basically every margin trading will put you on the platform, on the leaderboards, and then you're getting tokens for that. I just wanted to say the goal of the airdrop is to incentivize people to get into the leaderboards and to start seeing the mechanics of the website. So that's the main reason. That's why we only giving Aluna to people who are copying, and for people who are trading is because we want to incentivize users to start seeing those mechanics. A lot of users will come and just say stuff on the timeline, and that's cool. There is no problem with that. But I think the platform is mainly built for people who are trading and sharing information, right? So this airdrop specifically is for people who is going to come and is going to trade and going to share their trades.
Coming back to, I guess this feeds into a couple points that I wanted to cover from speaking with you pre-show, and that is the upcoming copy trading aspects for, I believe it's Bitfinex and for BitMEX. Can you talk with us about the rollout of those features supporting those exchanges?
Yes. So currently you already have, you can already copy and counter copy people on Bitfinex. So as I said, there is already users copy trading and counter copy trading on the platform. But on the next months, our priority is also to add copy trading for BitMEX, copy trading for Binance Futures, and we're also looking into Bybit and FTX, which are two exchanges that a lot of people are using right now. And we're going to keep adding more and more exchanges as the time go by. Hopefully, we're going to be supporting 10, 20 exchanges by next year.
That's awesome. And I'm curious, let's say I am a budding day trader who, is looking to enter the copy trading marketplace, with offering my own manual trades available for copy. What would the major incentive be for me to use Aluna as opposed to other platforms or other copy trade marketplaces?
That's a very good question. So on our white paper, we wrote a lot about this, but basically the incentive so far is for you to earn tokens on our leaderboards, but we also plan to have BTC and Ethereum rewards as well. I think rewarding the users is something very, very delicate that we also want to make sure that it's fun and fair, because previously on our experiences with copy trading, sometimes the reward model is not fair. So I'll give you an example. It's very possible that you copy somebody and you pay to copy somebody, and this person only do bad trades. So you end up paying somebody to lose money. That's not fair. There is other situations. For instance, there are other copy trading platforms where you have to share the profits. So if you make 10% of profits, you have to pay 10% of your profits to somebody. So that basically means you're always starting almost from negative every trade. And of course, if you lose money, nobody gonna give you money for part of your losses, right? So it's something we always trying to think both sides of the coin. What if I copy this person and it just goes bad? What if I copy this person and the person doesn't do any trades? So I think that's a problem on most copy trading platforms, is that people can somehow find their ways to make money even if they don't do well. And that's something that we are trying to solve in the most fair way. So currently, the way we have designed the system is that we will be awarding the best traders of the month, and we're gonna be awarding the worst traders of the month, and the sharing rewards will go to the people who are performing the best. So if you are a good trader, you're gonna get rewarded. If you're not doing well, so why would you be rewarded, right? And also, if we are creating incentives for people to do well, then that means that they have a reason to do well. It's not that they have a reason to be copied, right? Which is something very different. So a person could be the most copied of the platform, but then this person only did bad trades. Is it fair for this person to receive an award this month? I personally don't think so. I think the people who should be rewarded is the people who did better on the platform and gave the best signals. That's the model we have so far. So the idea is when you pay for pro subscriptions, which as I said is not the case right now, everything is free at the moment, but soon copy trading will be one of the functions that you're going to have to pay to use, right? And it's gonna be a flat fee. So you only pay a small amount per month, and then you copy as many people as you want. But then part of this fee will go to what we call the rewards pool, which is basically our prize pool that is then going to be distributed to the best traders. So this is a slightly different model. It's not a one-to-one model where if I copy you, I pay you directly. It's more like I pay pro to support the platform and the community, and then the community gets a fair share of what's on the pool. So that's how we have it so far. That's what we are working on at the moment. But I also would like to say that this is an ongoing process, and it's somehow an experimental approach that we are taking here, trying to solve some problems that we spot from other platforms before, and that will be of course perfected, and we're gonna get input from the community, and we're gonna always be working towards making it better for everyone.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying on the delicate factors that have to be taken into account with the awards model, because you do have to take in both sides. If, for example, in the I get 10% of the wins and 0% or zero responsibility for the losses, then that's going to encourage more risky trading behavior, where let's say someone isn't even in the fund that they're managing, they only have, less than 1% of their own personal equity invested in the fund, because they're still receiving an outsized portion of the gains, so they can, engage in a higher risk profile, because it's only money if they win and very limited downside for them personally if they lose. Whereas, their users are experiencing outside losses and smaller gains. And so it really kind of limits the risk profile that you can take on as an investor, more so than what you would experience for your own manually traded portfolio. It's a delicate process, though. Have y'all reached out to any large accounts on the leaderboard at BitMEX or Bitfinex and be like, okay, if you were to engage in our platform, what information would you definitely not want shared about your trades or about your account? And what information would you want to be shared that's not currently being shared? Have you all actively engaged in any of those kind of exploratory conversations?
I think we have a few close contacts that give us some insights on what they think. We're not sharing, for instance, we're not sharing the size of your account, so you can only see the portfolio distribution, and you cannot see the position size of people. So if you can only see, for instance, that I increased my position size by 100%, decreased my position size by 50%, but you cannot see how much money people are putting there. So we start with the simple model where basically everything is percentage based, right? So somehow we're not exposing how rich people are or how poor people are, and we're treating them somehow similar, right? Basically the same at the moment. And, for sure, reaching out to higher profile traders is something that's on our plan and that we are slowly doing as well. We are not pushing so hard at the moment on reaching out to the most big traders. We have engaged with a few of them. We got some positive feedback, but I think at the moment our biggest worry is to build a solid community. I think Alvin could expand on this, and also on our plans in regards into doing partnerships with bigger traders and bigger profiles. But I personally think that it's nice to have something that's organic as well, right? It would be unfair as well to go to higher profile traders and offer them money or rewards and everything, and while some other person who also is a good trader but not so famous wouldn't get the same treatment, right? So that's also something to be developed for sure, and it's also
Yeah.
an idea that we are working on.
Alvin, I'd love to hear your response to that and some of the things that Enrique said you'd like to build on.
I mean, for now, we have reached out to some traders, especially on Twitter, just to have a casual conversation and find out what they are looking for on the website on Aluna before they can utilize the site. And I think one of the important things we are trying to do here is to make it such that traders don't have to do double the work to share what they're trading, right? A lot of these kind of social platforms, you're going to be making your trades on, say, BitMEX, Bitfinex. And then if you want to share your trades, you have to take a screenshot or do double the work to share that trade with someone else. So we're trying to make it really easy by allowing you to add your API keys, and everything is automatically generated, right? So if you're a really big player, you don't even want to log into Aluna to make your trades. You want to trade just on the BitMEX interface. What those traders can do is add your read-only keys onto Aluna, and basically generates all the trading data automatically for you. And when the incentives kick in, you automatically earn the incentives and the rewards without you having to do any extra work. So I think that's quite important, because when I tried using some of these available social platforms for sharing your trades, it becomes really cumbersome trying to share your portfolio or share your recent trades, because it's always having to do double work. Right? You make your trade on the exchange, and then you go on that secondary platform and you input those details. And end of the day, if you are able to manually input those details, I think there's always a way to fake that kind of information.
I think that point that Alvin mentioned is really important, which is if you are a big trader at the moment and you are so comfortable with your current tool, let's say you love the BitMEX UI and you're not willing to use Aluna to trade, you can still connect just your read-only keys, as Alvin said, and you're going to still be participating on the leaderboard. You're going to still be sharing your trades. You're going to still have your profile on Aluna. You're going to still earn the awards. So for big players, that's one of the incentives, that if they do well, they're going to get extra money at the end of the month through the Aluna leaderboard, through the Aluna community. So you don't even need to use Aluna as a trading terminal if you want to just share your trades, which is really cool as well. It's also open for that.
Is there any possibility, I'm thinking, for instance, I don't know if he's still there, but there's a pretty famous trader on BitMEX who on Twitter is known as, I think, the Boot. But he, there's another YouTuber who, really gets into the weeds with, some forensic analysis and using, various available exchange data to kind of like reverse engineer leaderboard positions and whatnot. I don't know if it's the Boot himself or the exchange that creates a little bit of a delay with the data that they release, so that the open position data for the Boot is not available, but you can see with a delay closed position data. Like let's say for instance, I'm the Boot and I like what Aluna's doing and want to participate, but I don't want for my real-time position data to be available. Could I say, okay, guys, I want to be here, but I only want to, click the box for a 1 week delay of my trade data to be available for consideration on the leaderboard. Is something like that available for traders who just want an extra level of privacy to their data?
I think the idea of having delayed data is also one of the ideas that we have since the beginning, and we thought how to incorporate this feature. So we thought maybe if you are not part of the community, you're just gonna get delayed data. Maybe if you're not pro user, you're just gonna get delayed data. We also considered having a different kind of account called Ninja, where people who are ninjas will be able to do things such as hide their trades or put delays on the trades, as you're saying. And I think that's such a good question and such a valid concern, and it's something that we're very open to implement if the community believes to be valuable. As I said, currently the platform is simple in the sense that there is not many advanced configurations. It does what it does, and it is what it is. There is not many menus. There is no such a thing as delaying your trades, as you're saying. But if that's what the community needs, we're gonna definitely build it. We need the community to be part of it, right? This is, of course, is made to solve some problems that we had personally, but this is a community-based project. So whatever the community needs, we're gonna do.
I love it. I got to tell you guys, you have been tremendously generous with your time and exploring the platform here. Earnestly, I haven't been more excited about a new platform than I am about this, and times that I can't remember. So, really appreciate y'all bringing this to the table. It's evident that it was designed, from an experiential standpoint with, value to users in mind, and I really think that with the right traction, you guys could really shake up the space in a positive way for traders. And I really appreciate your work. Guys, is there anything, as we're kind of wrapping up the show, anything else that you want to make sure that our listeners and viewers take home about the Aluna platform, or anything that you'd like to leave our listeners thinking about? Henrique, I'll start off with you.
What I would personally love people to do is to come to the platform and try it out. We have a support at Aluna Social email where you can send all your suggestions, all your questions. You can reach to us on Twitter. You can reach to us on Telegram. But I would say we are open and we read every email sent to the support every day. So if you come participate on the platform, if you have any ideas, if you like to see any feature, if you have any questions, just come talk to us. We are really open. We are part of the community, basically. That's what we are. So we really would love to hear from people.
And I would love to follow up on that real quick with your social addresses. So how can we reach you on Twitter and Telegram?
My Telegram is that's Hems, but I believe that the best way of reaching us is to send an email to the support, because, as you know, Telegram is a mess. Like, there's so many chats, so many groups, so many things. We have a group on Telegram and there's thousands of people there. But if you want to make sure that you're going to be replied as soon as possible with the highest priority, just send us an email. I think old school and simple is the best way. But if you would like to send us a tweet to Aluna Social, you can also send a tweet to Aluna Social.
Yeah, so our Twitter handle is @Aluna Social, and similarly for Telegram, our Telegram group is @Aluna Social. Just to end off, I think me and Enrique, we started building Aluna really to solve the problems that we faced as traders. And I think the biggest problem we're trying to fix here is the trust and transparency in the trading space, right? Like, you go on Twitter, anyone can say anything about the market, but they can't really prove it. And I think now with Aluna, you can actually prove your true performance. So yeah, please come and try out the platform, add your API keys, get on the leaderboard, and hopefully just have people start copying you, and you're gonna earn some rewards when we start the incentive program.
Enrique, Alvin, once again, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I am so excited to check out your platform and so excited for our listeners as well. Once again, you guys have already created a tremendous product, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. Guys, thank you so much for being here. And that wraps up today's episode of The Nest Show.
Beaksy is an easy-to-use cryptocurrency exchange. Get verified in minutes. Buy and sell popular cryptocurrencies on a safe, compliant, insured U.S. exchange. Enjoy everything you need in one place. A two-way ramp for major currencies, credit and debit card support, an industry-leading API, responsive customer support, and a 5-star mobile app. Love your primary cryptocurrency exchange? If not, make the switch to Beaksy today. Visit Beaksy by clicking the link in the description.
I'd like to thank our listeners for joining this episode of The Nest Show. We invite you to connect with our guest on Twitter at Aluna Social. And I am at BenjaminT1717. To learn more about Aluna, be sure to visit aluna.social. Again, we want to thank our sponsors at Prime XBT for their support of the show and for their support of our listeners. Once again, after signing up to trade at thebirbnest.com/PrimeXBT, be sure to follow up on the announcement channel of our Discord and learn how to capitalize on their generous trading bonus offer that they've exclusively made available to our community. If you've appreciated the depth and breadth of what you've heard with us today, subscribe to our podcast and find our landing page at thebirbnest.com. We have a vibrant Discord community which acts as our central hub of operations, and we welcome you to join us at thebirbnest.com/Discord. We also offer an extensive free bulletin on emerging crypto market trends, exclusive undervalued gem reports, and in-depth expert technical and fundamental analysis at thebirbnest.com/bulletin. We always appreciate engagement from our community, which of course means liking the video and subscribing to our page, where we insist on bringing you the highest quality content available. Also, we're happy to incorporate tips and topics from our listeners and encourage you to email us at thenestshow@thebirbnest.com. This podcast is brought to you by the Birb Nest. Thank you, and trade on.